Hi, everybody. I'm Dom McDowell, and this is Dave Chapman. We're from Cubicle 7, and we're here to talk to you about the laundry, which is very, very exciting stuff. It's on Kickstarter at the moment. If you're watching this now, which you won't be because we're recording it, hopefully it'll still be on Kickstarter when you do come to see it. And you can marvel at our slick production values and how great we are at making video content. So, we're doing this one today. We've had lots of people asking us some very good and interesting questions about the system that we're using for the Laundry role-playing game. Because it's the second edition of the Laundry. The first edition used a 100-sided dice, a D100 based system, similar to Call of Cthulhu and things like that, if you're familiar. This edition uses what we're calling the C7D6 system, which is a D6 dice pool system. And we really love this one because it's really sort of easy to get your head around. It's easy to use, but it's got some nice little levers in it. So there's plenty for the GM to get their teeth into yeah, play with and get that kind of like the perfect kind of complexity and difficulty for rolls. And yeah, just it works really well. Plus, the best thing of dice pool systems is you get a satisfying number of dice to roll, and you feel like your character's really doing something. So that's always, well, for me anyway. Maybe that's just me. I don't know, Dave. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea, but it came up in a conversation I was having yesterday. Maybe we should have a special bonus if you roll 7 dice. So,
Oh, we totally should, shouldn't we? That is a really good idea. Wow. And that was freely offered. I want it recorded on yeah, that would be good. We should do, shouldn't we? Yeah,
yeah, just to
exactly.
just to get the
Gosh.
name in there as well. That'd be good.
Yeah, it would
It
be,
was
wouldn't it?
either that
Maybe,
or we switch over to 7-sided dice, which was the other suggestion, which could be tricky.
yeah. We haven't mastered that one yet, have we? There's been plenty of origami sessions trying to run that.
No,
Just doesn't
no.
happen. But we do have like loads of swans now, so that's really nice. But maybe like if you roll a six, if you roll sevens, if you are rolling 76, then sixes count as sevens. Maybe you could have
I
that
like that.
unofficial
That's really
home
good.
rule. You heard it here first. Yeah, you got to play this to the GM though. That's the yeah. If you ever
Yeah.
need backup on that, then tell them that we said. So, great. So yes, so we will have a little run through of just some of the features, how it works, how you make characters, what sort of stuff you'll be doing, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Um, so Dave, where should we start?
I have a little list of questions, specially
Ah,
prepared for. So
that's
the first
handy.
first question that came up was, why did we change and can you convert?
Basically down to some of the licensing changes around that. So the that was like the main reason really at the
Yeah,
start.
I
Um,
think the big thing was that after the OGL thing, it was good to have something that was ours basically, so that we didn't have that
yeah,
problem
yeah,
ever come up in the future. So basically,
yeah.
and it's a cool system too.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting, isn't it? Because we work in licensing, and then we have our own stuff as well that we do. So it's always something that we're going around with. Because if there's a system that's really good and we want to use it out of the gate, that it fits, then that's great. But we tend to prefer to really specifically design our rules to
Mm,
to really positively reinforce the themes of the game and yeah
definitely.
to make everybody's experience as good as possible. And
Mhm.
that's one of the ways of doing that is that bespoke design. So yeah, a combination of those things. I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
the
definitely.
yeah
As for
yeah
converting, that's a
conversion. It's we will try our best. I think that's
yeah.
probably the best thing to say there is that we'll put some thoughts into it and stick it on the website. But I think which is part of the reason I think that we've with some of the adventures that we're doing, we're doing conversions from first edition into second edition for some of the old classic well loved scenarios. So that work will be done for you as well.
Yeah,
So yeah, a combination of those things, I guess, there,
definitely.
isn't it? Yeah, we'll try and find something.
And the next one that came down was basically what is the C7D6 system and what are the basic mechanics of it? Um,
Ooh, that is a it's actually quite an easy question to answer, isn't it? So
It is.
you really, yeah, the happily, it's quite easy to explain. So we're going to like really talk around it for a bit, just to convince you of that. So no, seriously, it really you basically you've got a an attribute and you've got skills and you've got they have scores. You're adding those two together, and that's how many dice you roll. So
Mhm.
yeah, I want examples in front of you, Dave.
No, no, not instantly to
That
hand,
would
but
have been
yeah,
good to have, wouldn't it? But yeah,
that would have meant we were prepared for this sort of thing. But yeah,
I
basically
know.
it's just yeah, you're rolling as that many dice. There's a
Yeah.
difficulty, and that's the score that the dice has to reach or higher, and every one of those is a success. There's also a complexity to it as well, just in case it's a slightly trickier task, which means that you need that many successes to actually
Mm.
accomplish what you're trying to do. But a lot of the time, the complexity is just the one, and any extra successes that you get, you can do fancy things with. But yeah, it's pretty quick and simple,
Yeah.
so which is
So
nice.
to recap, so your character sheet will tell you how many dice to roll.
Mhm.
The GM will tell you what number you need to roll on those dice. You roll them, and the number of times you hit that number or more, that's the number of successes you have. Often it's just you need one to do the thing if it's a fairly simple task. Sometimes you'll need a few more. So
Yeah,
that's the basics, really, isn't it? It's
yeah.
yeah, it's you'll have your head around it in no time. It's yeah, it's really cool. There's and yeah, there's some extra little things that are there, which we maybe some will come into in when we have as we run through character creation. So as well as adding an extra die to your skill, you can also add a +1. And what that means in this is that you can, if you choose to specialize your character in that way, then you can add one to one of the dice that you roll. So
Mhm.
if you roll, 4, 4, 5, 3, you can change that 5 into a 6. So yeah, there's some nice little sort of you can nudge your luck a little bit and yeah, have some influence on rolls that way. So
Cool. So the next question I've got down here is one that I've been talking about a lot on various interviews that I've been doing recently to plug the Kickstarter, which is what
mm,
is the power scale, especially when
mm,
it comes to looking at the early books and the laundry files up to
mm,
the later books. And I think that's something that's come from the first game that used the C7D6 system was a very epic fantasy,
mm.
super powered. Wow, look at those two swords swinging.
You're competent out of the gate.
Yes, yeah. Whereas one of the later supplements for Soulbound sort of dealt with the grim and perilous, I think is the term that gets
That's
used,
the
which is like
description. Yeah, yeah,
street
yeah,
level average people having to cope
yeah.
with things like that. And that's kind of basically where a lot of the characters start, especially when you compare them to the characters that are in the earlier Laundry novels. They are just
Mm,
accountants or clerks or IT support, and they're not
yeah.
they're not super powered or anything like that. So the system worked perfectly for that, but it's also
It's a
got that.
really scalable one,
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, and that's one of the real strengths, I think, and something it brings. The yeah, because of that, it's not like power level increases it, but but the
no,
some of the nature of some of the threats, and as the
yeah,
magic level is increasing,
yeah,
as the stars start to become right, and Case Nightmare Green is going, and there's just more, more of all of that stuff is coming through, leaking through from the other dimensions. Then yeah, the game can scale as well to handle
mhm.
that too. So that's yeah, definitely something that really is a benefit that C76 bring to the laundry.
Cool. Okay, so onto the next little section we've got here, and
Mm.
that is making a character. So yeah, the basics of character creation. So I think the first
When a
thing,
mummy character and a daddy character love each other very much. No, but I was going back to that. We're starting a bit further on.
yeah,
That is such a dad joke. I'm ashamed. I'm sorry, everybody. I'll be quiet for a bit and let Dave talk.
that's all right. So where other games have archetypes, this one has assignments, and that's probably the first thing that you pick. And that's your day job, basically. What you do every day when you go into the laundry. You're either an accountant, IT, a clerk, or even something a bit more, specialized, like a counter-possession exorcist or a computational demonologist, or possibly even something a bit more physical, like a plumber or a cleaner or ocular support. And so you pick that first, and that defines what your attributes are and gives you a range of skills and talents. And that's basically what your day job is, but you kind of team up, and that leads on to the next question, which was about how your team works. And thanks to the wonders of matrix management, you can have multiple bosses, something that I am quite familiar with. And you have your team can be assembled from various different departments. So your average IT guy could be working alongside an ex-SAS specialist and an accountant who's keeping track of how much money you're spending on the mission. And then you're all kind of bundled off and sent on wacky missions like that.
There is, yeah. I think if you're somebody from the IT or accountancy side of the spectrum, worry if you have an SAS trained person in your team because someone's decided you need them.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads on to things like your equipment and training. So equipment, I mean, normally you get assigned loads of equipment in these games when you pick your archetype, but when it comes to equipment in the laundry, you're lucky if you have your own phone and a laptop, maybe some pens if you're really, really lucky. Everything else is going to require some paperwork and requisitions and intense budgetary checking, and anything that you take with you on a mission will need to be returned in full working order and complete. And if you lose it or damage it in any way, then it's probably going to come out of your department's budget, and your supervisor's not going to be very happy about that at all.
No. Prudence is just prudence and scrutiny. That's all. Very understandable. Yes, it's yeah. I mean, I think it's because it's
So,
that continuity error was due to my headphones malfunctioning there slightly. So please ignore the skip. I didn't go on some foul-mouthed tirade. Where were we? So yeah, so the equipment from the laundry, it's, yeah, some of it's like beyond the wildest dreams, like of James Bond's Q, for example, isn't it? Some of it that builds in all the magical elements and especially I think the technological sides of it. They're just absolutely amazing, through to very, like, been there since the 60s and 70s kind of equipment, isn't it? The oscilloscope that you need to have hooked up to whatever banishment circuit that you're tracking something through or whatever. So yeah, it does run the whole spectrum, doesn't it? Through from
yeah.
really, really hyper advanced through
Although
to
now
very
I
not.
just want to see James Bond carrying a hand of glory now into a mission. Now that's going to be hilarious. I've just got that image in my head and I can't get rid of it. Why are you carrying a hand?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, which Bond would choose which animal? I'm sorry, this is going off topic, isn't it? That's something for another.
Yeah,
we'll definitely come back to that one. Yeah. I just think it's the Hooves work because I'm thinking Roger Moore and a zebra. But let's not get distracted. Let's so
oh
you can
dear.
get equipment, but if you break it, you pay for it. I
Definitely.
think that's the yeah. Okay, great.
I think that's definitely the thing there. So the next question we've got down there is, what do you actually do? What are like typical adventures, and what kind of enemies you'll face? So, typical adventures, I think, probably you're usually sent off to investigate something that's been flagged by the laundry as being potentially dangerous. Like somebody has coding something that they shouldn't, accidentally creating one of those donor curves that's going to open a portal somewhere, or accidentally going to like raise the dead, basically. But it's not always accidental. It could be you could be investigating strange cultists or megalomaniac, so evangelists. I mean, that's just taking the plot from the first few books there, or even complete Bond-like villains.
Yep, no, absolutely. I think the adventure that Glass Cannon just ran for us, where you kind of got like the mix. Yes, there is somebody who is trying to use forces that they don't understand to to be able to enact a plan that is not in itself inherently evil, but risks sort of going into that territory. I think that there is that real range, isn't there, within the laundry of complete accidental. I didn't know what I was doing. I just sort of, my computer drew this thing, and then strange looking dogs started coming through. Well, I knew a little bit about this, but I didn't realize how dangerous, bad, etc. The consequences would be through to I'm absolutely trying to do this in the most evil way possible. I suppose then beyond that, then you've got the where it links into some of the the eon long I don't know if you'd even call them plots, but the actions of the great old ones and stuff that is just beyond any understanding. So it's again huge amount of scope there.
And then finally, the questions we've got were what are the future plans, and what's actually on the Kickstarter now, and what we've got to look forward to after the Kickstarter.
Lots and lots. That is very exciting with this. So the Kickstarter, you have the this is where I remember. I think I'm awful for like specific names. So and sometimes when we're developing things, we end up doing shorthands of things that then just get so large that I'm like, so here we go, Dave, test me. So we have Laundry Agent's Handbook.
Operative's Handbook.
Operative. Oh, damn it! So close. So that's the player's guide.
Yeah, that's the player's guide. Got all the rules. It's got all the rules in. Everything for like character creation, how to play the game, magic, and departments of the laundry and things like that. Things that the player would know. But anyway.
Yeah. Cool. So it tells you about the game. It's a briefing for players as well. Things they should know, things they would know. So like with this one, we've got the book aimed at players and the book aimed at GMs. So, but because it gives us that opportunity to do some of that stuff, you can specifically target the information that's in players' book at players, and it's just a real prep for playing the game. So, I think sometimes with well-known settings, you'll get some people who are really into it, and they'll know everything and all the details, and then the people who are really interested in the concept but maybe don't know as much, and it can be slightly difficult to bring everybody with you on that. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So with the laundry, I think it's a real we've taken the opportunity to really try and help players who really like it but maybe haven't read all the books. We can get them up to speed. Then the supervisor's handbook.
Supervisor's guide.
Yay! Damn it! I was so
close. It was close. Yeah, that's the one for the GMs, which offers advice for the GM to help players when they're character creating, and gives you even more information about the laundry stuff that the players probably wouldn't know about, as well as some details of other similar organizations worldwide, some of the threats, lots of the creatures and nasty things like that, and plenty of advice on how to create missions, how to run missions, and basic GMing.
So there's so much cool stuff in that, so that'll really help GMs to bring the all of the really cool thematic books of the laundry into their games in a really kind of accessible way. So that is loads there. Then Black Bag Jobs Reopened. That is the adventure book that we've got.
That's like a taking some of the best adventures from the original Black Bag Jobs and converting them into it's the second edition, and then there's some
And a
new
bit of an update
adventures.
as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and they've got some new adventures in there as well, just to
Yeah.
um, posh, smarten things up and add some new stuff in there for people who are familiar with the
Yeah.
first edition ones. And then on top of that, we've got Introduction to Applied Occult Computing, which is almost like a starter campaign, which sets the characters up in a field office in Milton Keynes. It's kind of set after the events of Concrete Jungle short story, and gives you Milton Keynes to play with, basically. Lots of information about weird stuff going on, and adventure ideas and some plots, and then some adventures in there as well to keep you going for many months.
Yes, definitely. And that one, the adventure kind of teaches you to play as you're going through the
Yeah,
first one, isn't it? So it's a really nice kind of like way of introducing new players to the rule system and to the laundry and all that stuff. So very cool.
cool.
Excellent. So that's what we've got in the Kickstarter. Then afterwards, so the Kickstarter as well is, or this first phase of the game is focused on the first few books as a sort of like the power level, and these are
Yeah.
the kind of things that are happening as well. So in the future of the laundry RPG, we'll be looking at the other stages, sort of like as everything starts seeping through from other dimensions, as the stars begin to come right. The different kind of things start happening, and different kind of
Mm.
like manifestations of all of that, which can be there's some elements of that is a power, an increased power level. So we'll be focusing on that era in the next phase, and then into the new management era, which is brings us back up to date for the laundry as well. So there's we're planning to do a move through all those stages. And, the usual stuff you'd expect from us. So we'll be working on adventures and campaigns, things that move the rule set forward and the
Yeah.
setting forward.
Yeah, and I'm looking into things like expanding the world as well. So if you
Yeah.
wanted to run the laundry as like black chamber operatives or something like that,
Yeah.
or sort of so you're not just limited to Milton Keynes or London or or anything like that.
Say that
But
like it's a bad thing.
I
I
mean,
love Milton.
I mean, they get sent worldwide, but it'd be interesting to try and to do a laundry campaign from a non-laundry perspective. We'll have to.
It could be. It could be. I've had a specific request as well to cover Wolverhampton, where the walls are thin.
Oh yes,
That was that's we so I think with the launch there's so much to explore and dig into, and it's a setting that we love, and be great to follow the books as well
yeah.
as Charles is working on more and more stuff. So the yeah, so loads. I think that's
Hmm.
the hopefully there's some specifics in there as well. We'll deliver all of the Kickstarter stuff and get the game launched, and then moving into other things. But I think a good campaign I think is definitely top high up on my list.
Definitely.
Something that can really take you through a longer narrative, and I just love kind of getting my teeth into the level of kind of like involvement that you get in the world with something that's a multi-part thing that really makes it all come to life. So I'll be nagging and going for that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
and that's
Excellent.
all the questions we have.
That's
So,
all for today. Well, I think we probably we've gone on for long enough now anyway. And if we keep going, there's just more and more chance of awful jokes coming from me. So I think we should like try and quit while we're not so much ahead as not too far behind. I think Well, thanks everybody.
Excellent.
Thanks for your patience, and thank you if you've made it this far. Then thank you very much. We appreciate it, and thanks for your support with Kickstarter. It's always with those kind of thing. It's always really touching. Just really lovely that so many people are really excited to about the things that we're interested and excited about as well. Taking the time and put their hands in their pockets to support us. It's touching. Anyway, I'll start crying. So let's definitely stop. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be back soon with more videos.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
The Laundry Role-Playing Game from Cubicle 7.